when you connected, that they settle up with you.
So they might pay you a little extra at the end, or you might be paying them at the end, based on
Exactly.
what you use for the whole year. Now, during the year, are you also paying? Like if you're in a low month, are you actually paying them and then you might get it back?
Right.
If you
Yes.
create
Yep.
more?
If you don't have
So money's going back and forth
Right.
through the year, and then at the end, you close it out for the year?
If you had credits, and say my anniversary is in May, so if I made it through the winter and say on May 15th on my anniversary I had a lot of credit, then they kind of slap that down on my account. And then through the whole summer, I'm making way more than I use, so they just use that credit to keep on paying my connection fee for as long as it'll hold out. And then eventually, around September, I have to start paying connection fees again. And then by the end of November or December, I've run out of credits, and I have to maybe pay some.
If you produce more than you use, it's like putting in the bank, and then you withdraw it when you need it, and it goes back in when you produce more.
But you are paying actual money?
If you use something from the power company that month, you're paying for that usage.
Okay.
Okay.
So that, I don't know if everybody heard that, but it's, the discussion was about, do you actually pay it on a monthly basis if you're making more? And Rob was saying if you have credit, if you've built up credits because you've made more power than you've used, that credit can be applied even to your connection fee, your delivery charges. So you may in fact pay nothing in any given month. Or if you don't have any credits built up and you're not producing more than you use, you'll be paying your delivery charge and whatever electricity charge. So you don't know, on a monthly basis it changes, but there are months where you may have zero for an electric bill. And again, gets to system sizing. Typically people size for, and so it zeroes out on an annual basis. I don't know if it was mentioned, but I think it's NYSERDA that on the incentive that will only give you an incentive up to 110% of your annual estimated usage. So if you start to size your system bigger so that you can sell more power back, you can do that, but you won't get the your incentive ends before.
How much more costly are the pole-mounted systems? Are they so much that the economics really sort of fall apart?
No.
Oh, I'm hearing from our speakers. The answer is no. It's a wash, basically. Could be a little more.
They're a little bit more for the full mount because you have more hardware. They're usually a distance from the house.
Yeah, so a little bit more.
A little bit more. Does that mean 20, 40%?
I don't think it's that much.
10 to 15% more.
I'm hearing 10 to 15% more for a pole mount.
Is there a company that pays the whole cost to put it in and then I guess leases it back to you or something?
There is. That wasn't talked about today, but just recently in New York, you can get a system on your house and spend $0. The system is owned by the company and you lease it, and it's set up typically so that your electric bill is slightly less than what you were paying before you put the system on. But you don't own any of the equipment and you don't get any of the, you don't sell the power. Basically, you just lease it from the company. But yeah, you can do a full-blown system for free.
You're like loaning them the land.
The roofs, yeah, or you're right. But for people who want to do this strictly for environmental reasons but don't have the money to put out up front, yes, you can do that in New York now.
I just want to make a comment on the resale, that kind of thing. If any of you lived with a woman like my wife, you would say you'd never be able to sell your house again. I would never have thought about it until somebody mentioned the pole-mounted system. Now, I was thinking that I own a lot right next door and could hide it from the house, but I think a lot of people would strongly object to it, even though we all may look at it and say, hey, this is a wonderful green thing, but I don't know what my rate of use
Yeah,
is.
well, I mean,
It's not a swimming pool.
clearly that's a sliding, it's a moving target, and I think the more people realize that this, I like to say this is not alternative energy as people commonly refer to it. It's getting pretty mainstream. It's renewable energy. It's not some wacky alternative thing, and more people are getting exposed to it. And as fuel costs and electric costs go up, they're going to get more and more attractive. But some people think wind turbines are hideous, and some see it as mobile artwork. You know, it's, you can't predict for that, really.
And if somebody wants to buy the house.
Okay. Any other questions?
Do reflective surfaces help make it more efficient? Can you put mirrors or add mirrors to add sunlight to the
You-
PV system?
You could.
Snow.
That's done in not. I haven't seen it done on PV, but
You do it.
as some people mentioned, the snow is a very good reflective surface and it increases your production. In fact, I know somebody who, in the winter, tilts their panels completely vertical because they get more production with the reflection of the snow than they would aiming it at the winter sun angle. So yeah, that certainly does help. I think there was one more.
In my neighborhood, there are 2 houses that appear to have wall-mounted solar panels. Do you know anything about those?
Yep. Well, I don't know about those, but you can mount solar at any angle, including vertical. Commonly, the hot air collectors are mounted on the wall, and that would be for space heating. We're going to talk about those in the next session, probably in September. But any of these can be mounted vertically, horizontally. It does affect the efficiency, regardless of the technology, whether it's hot air, hot water, PV. You do take an efficiency hit, but they do still work. In the case of hot air, it's preferential to do that because in the summer you don't need any space heating, and when they're vertical, they won't overheat. They won't put much heat into your house, so that's actually an advantage. Yep. You might be able to tell by the look of them what they are, but I'd have to share some pictures with you maybe, or go talk to your neighbor. The people who've done hot air love it, so it's basically like a solar furnace. Anybody else? Good. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Did you say something about the